I've already talked plenty of times about how I think Universes Beyond is genuinely pretty fucking cool, and that they're a net positive for the game as a whole, so I won't regurgitate all of that again like I have in plenty of videos, both on this channel and on my Let's Play channel and social medias, and so on. Instead, I want to talk about what my personal Universes Beyond wishlist is. I've chosen 9 or so properties that I think would make for really cool Universes Beyonds, whether as full sets, or as small secret layers, or even as a set of commander decks. These are in no particular order, and obviously some of them are going to be more likely than others, but I didn't take that into account for this video. Nothing's off limits. I tried to keep any that were just, I like the IP, off of the list, and instead tried to pick some that I think would be really cool for gameplay reasons or flavor reasons. I was also tempted to include some Universes Beyonds that we've gotten as small secret layers but I'd want as a full set or as commander precons or whatever, so honorable mentions go to PlayStation stuff and Sonic. With that being said, let's get started. If you follow my Let's Play channel at all, shameless plug, you'll know that I'm not the biggest Zelda guy. I don't dislike the series, I just don't have tons of hands-on experience with it. But the more I've seen of Let's Plays, my friends talk about it, my partner liking the series, and so on, I really think it would make for a really good Universes Beyond. A lot of Universes Beyond have the issue of having multiple of the same characters to fill space. There's like 6 Peter Parkers or whatever, which can make sets feel bloated and full of, well, filler, but I feel like doing the same thing with Zelda would fix that issue since, like Doctor Who, you can have all the different versions of Link. You can have Toon Link, Young Link, Adult Link, etc., and there's so many items you can use and upgrade through your adventures that I think it makes for some really good and fun cards on their own too. Like a hook shot that can steal your opponent's artifacts, or a Rock's Feather or Deku Leaf that can give you flying or something. It's also an aesthetic that would fit Magic in my opinion very well, and it would not feel too strange or out of place. It would also give us more dungeons effects most likely, and I want that so bad you have no fucking idea. I love dungeons. Fuck, give us some more dungeons, WotC. I don't care if I'm the only living being on this goddamn planet that likes them. Please give us more dungeons! So this one's a bit weird, but hear me out. Yu-Gi-Oh! I think it'd be really fun to have Magic the Gathering adapt some Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards to Universes Beyond and maybe have Konami do the opposite. It'd be cool seeing them try to make some Yu-Gi-Oh! Concepts and show how those cards can be done as Magic cards, finding a way to make some small archetypes have cool synergies, and for Yu-Gi-Oh! To do the opposite and try to make some cool Magic cards into functioning Yu-Gi-Oh! Ones. I'm sure it'd be a legal nightmare since they're competitors, but I think it would lead to some cool designs and neat adaptations of cards from one game to another. I suppose it could be hard coming up with colors for a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards since most of them aren't really characters with personalities, but I still think it can make some cool cards. At the very least, it does make for some fun thought experiments of making custom cards and trying to adapt them. There's a reason there's a ton of custom Magic cards already that are just adaptations of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. It's really fun design space, and it could lead to some really cool designs and showing the strengths of one game and how they would adapt to the other game. It's just really cool to me. So I'm not really into Monster Hunter, but my partner is, so I've seen enough of it to know that it'd be really cool as a set of commander decks. I know Ikoria already has a Monster Tamer theme, but I feel that could lead to some easy reskin ideas, as well as a cool humans versus monsters theme. Giant monsters that devour creatures, cats that focus on food tokens and cat typal, humans that focus on hunting monsters. It fits perfectly in my opinion. Hey, editing Jira here, apparently Monster Hunter got leaked as a future Universes Beyond. This was written a while ago, and I didn't know that at the time. I don't know if that changes it. That doesn't matter, but still, I thought I'd point that out. I don't. Hi, future Jira here. Because I talked about Monster Hunter, and then immediately it got leaked as a secret lair or Universes Beyond or something for the future, I think that there's a chance that this list is psychic, and that I'm psychic, and that the things I say in here might come true, and just in case that that's a potential thing, I want to include some IPs that my partner really wants, but I don't know anything about any of these, so I'm just going to list the names of them. Pathfinder, Starfinder, Warframe, Elden Ring / FromSoft stuff, and more Warhammer, preferably the fantasy half of the series. That's all. I just wanted to add that because if any of those become real, I would rather the stuff my partner cares about become real than mine because I care about them. That's all I really wanted to add. On to the stuff that I want. Out of everyone on my list, this one is probably the least likely to happen, but whatever, that's not a factor here. Pokemon. I think there's a lot you can do with Pokemon's mechanics, in my opinion. You can do a mutate style ability for evolving. You can do hybrid mana to show multi-typed Pokemon. You can have legendary trainers that care about certain colors to represent their typal preferences. You can represent weather with enchantments or something. While the art style may not super mesh, and I know some people hate the anime art style that they put on some Magic cards, I think there's enough gameplay and mechanic potential to make up for that in my opinion. I don't mind if Magic the Gathering changes art style for Universes Beyond, as long as the other elements of the set make up for it and make up for that shortcoming. I really want a Jirachi Commander to play, please. It'd be really cool, and I really want one, and I think it'd be really cool, I don't know. I think this is another one that a lot of people want, so I'm not breaking new ground here when I say that Castlevania could make for a pretty cool Universes Beyond. Maybe not a full set or whatever, but even then I could feel like that would work. The protagonists are plentiful enough and varied enough to make for cool cards. There's so many monsters to make cool typal themes with. You can incorporate sub-weapons as equipment or auras, maybe a mechanic with hearts as some sort of energy type resource or sub-weapons. You could do more blood tokens. There's plenty of lore from the anime, the games, and all that to work with. I really think it fits perfectly. The art style fits, the flavor and vibes fit, there's plenty of cool mechanical ideas. The only real issue I could totally see is it not being able to stand out enough from Innistrad, since both have a gothic horror vibe, but I feel like Castlevania has enough to make it work on its own as a Universes Beyond set, or even just commander decks that are the Belmonts versus Dracula and his monsters, you know? I guess keeping with the horror theme, Resident Evil. This, in my opinion, would only really work as a secret lair or maybe as a set of 2 commander decks, one for survivors and one for the zombies and Umbrella. But I feel with some reskins taking up a few slots, you could do something cool to represent humans versus zombies in a way that stands out from Innistrad due to its more modern setting. There's multiple mechanics that already work here, plenty of Innistrad humans and Duskmourn survivors for reskins, and tons of really cool zombies and mutants that you can have fun with. This one is more flavor over function for me, but I feel like there's enough you can do to make it work. Finding a way to incorporate item management, ways to make zombies cool with mutate effects like adapt, or bringing back rad counters, maybe to make them stand out from other zombie typal themes on other planes and in other Universes Beyonds. We've done plenty of Marvel. I'm 100% sure we're going to get a DC property as one or more Universes Beyonds, and I'll give the boring answer and say I think Batman would be cool. There's so many different adaptations to work with, and there's tons of cool stuff mechanics-wise. Clue tokens would be an obvious fit. The Batmobile as a vehicle is a no-brainer. Tons of villains you can do stuff with, like making Poison Ivy a plant token generator or something. I'd honestly prefer Batman Beyond since that's my favorite Batman adaptation? Series? Spin-off? Sub-series? Whatever, it's my favorite. But I think even if you stuck to the grounded detective-y main universe, there's plenty to work with that would make for really cool cards. Maybe not as a full set, since Spider-Man didn't do as well as a full set, but I think you could do a Secret Lair or Commander Decks or something, maybe a mini set, if those still exist. Honestly, a lot about what I said about Resident Evil can also apply here. Devil May Cry. I think it can make for some really interesting mechanics with different weapons and weapon switching. There could also be cool mechanics based on the ranking system. You could have a really cool typal theme for demons and devils. The art style's anime-esque, but I think it matches Magic the Gathering enough to fit. It would also give us representation for DMC Reboot, which is underrated and a good game. Fuck all of y'all for being haters. It's good. You guys are just fucking biased, and you can fuck. Weirdly enough, 2 Capcoms in a row and like 4 on this list. Is half of this list Capcom stuff? Huh. Yeah, Mega Man. There's a lot of cool mechanics you can focus on. You could do Mega Man Zero and focus on equipments and elves as auras. You can do stuff with rush and beat transformations. There's tons of sub-series you could do cool stuff with. Mega Man Star Force, Mega Man ZX, Classic Mega Man X. You can even do Mega Man Legend stuff and focusing on scavenging. And dungeons. I want more dungeons, and I need that in like super clear that I want more dungeons and I want more dungeon support. I know it's hard to make more dungeons because they're generic and you have to make it so any deck can play them, but still, I want more dungeons, god damn it. Okay, so this one's gonna be short because this isn't gonna happen. This is not gonna happen. I guess there's a chance. We got Chucky and Evil Dead, so why not? I know it's different because it's Saw. I know Saw is grounded by these standards, but I feel at bare minimum, it can make for a really fun secret lair of some cards that make your opponent play little minigames. Kind of like what the Toymaker from Doctor Who works with. I always love weird minigame cards and odd mechanics, and I adore the Saw series and recommend it wholeheartedly. So I would want one of these really badly and feel it can make for some really interesting card design. Really short one here. I think Alien vs. Predator is something I wish could make for a set of 2 really cool commander decks, but I feel like there just isn't enough to make that work. So I'll take a secret layer of 5 alien themed cards and 5 predator themed cards with a commander for each theme for both. I think that would be perfectly fine, especially since there's a possibility we get alien type of cards in the future, and I feel like there's enough you could do with those 2 characters, I guess species of characters, right, to make for some pretty cool themed cards to each of the properties. Bonus points if you make it so each of the commanders that you give work well against one another to make it flavorful as Alien vs. Predator. So I know I said these are in no particular order, but I did save the one that I want most for last, and it's the one that I think would be the best as a Magic the Gathering set personally. I think Kingdom Hearts would make for a great Magic the Gathering kind of anything. I think the worlds and themes of Kingdom Hearts could be beautifully explored in Magic, and there is so much you can do mechanically with it as well. Representing Disney worlds as rooms you can unlock, Heartless as a typal theme, maybe as horrors or nightmares or something, equipable Keyblades with different effects. You can bring back summons from Final Fantasy. You can do faction stuff like Heartless, Keyblade Masters, Organization 13, Nobodies, and so on. Different forms for characters to justify more printings of singular characters, like multiple Soras. Magic you can use as instants and sorceries. Drive forms you can do multiple things with. There's just so much to work with, both flavor-wise and mechanic-wise, that it's absolutely crazy to me. I know it most likely won't ever happen because Disney's probably iffy about doing it, but I can dream. Drop distance. I'd gladly wait 358 days over 2 for it. It'd unlock a chain of memories of nostalgia for me, and I would adore it. Birth by Sleep. 2, 3, coded, recoded. I don't know, I tried to get them all in there. I did my best. I couldn't, whatever. And those were all of the Universes Beyonds that I can think of that I would really want. Again, I feel some are more fitting than others, and I tried to make a list of ones that are series that I don't have tons of knowledge about but think would make for really good Magic the Gathering collabs, ones that I think would make for some really cool mechanics, and ones that I personally just want because I'm selfish and want things for myself sometimes. I hope you enjoyed the video. All of my socials are linked in the description, meaning Blue Sky and a Let's Play channel, where I give more updates on the channel on those places usually because I don't like making update videos too often. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video that I do.